everyone. My name is Fatma Technology Valley and I belong to Rehan School Lahore campus. Today we talk with Maya and our topic is that how to deal with criticism and use it to improve. First of all, hello Maya, how are you?
Hey there. I'm good. Thanks for having me. The topic sounds really useful. How can we make the most of criticism instead of letting it get us down?
Okay, so Maya, I move to the next question. My next question is that what is criticism and why do people give it and how can criticism help us grow personally and professionally?
So, criticism is basically when someone shares their judgment or evaluation of something. Could be your work, your ideas, your behavior. People give it for a lot of reasons. Sometimes they genuinely want to help. Maybe they spot something you missed. Other times it's about them feeling insecure. Or maybe they want to show the right. As for growing from it, well, constructive criticism can show you blind spots you didn't know you had. It forces you to step back and look at your work objectively, which leads to improvement. Professionally, it's often feedback that helps you climb the ladder. Personally, it can reveal stuff about yourself you need to work on. The key is recognizing the difference between helpful criticism and just people being jerks.
Okay, so my next question, how do you usually feel when someone criticizes you and what is the difference between constructive criticism and negative criticism?
Honestly, my first reaction is to want to explain myself and defend my point of view. You know how it is. But that's not usually the productive response. As for the difference between constructive and negative criticism, that's huge. Constructive criticism is specific and focused on behavior or work, not your character. It usually comes with suggestions for improvement. Negative criticism is vague, judgmental, and often attacks you personally instead of the thing you actually did. So it's about how it's delivered, about fixing something, or just tearing you down.
Give me more detail, Maya.
Yeah, let me break it down further. Constructive criticism says things like the report was clear, but the data section could use more context. It focuses on the report, tells you what to fix. Negative criticism says you're just bad at writing reports. It attacks you personally and doesn't tell you what to actually do differently. The way the person delivering the criticism also matters. Is it said calmly and with a helpful tone? Or is it delivered angrily and in a way that makes you feel attacked?
Okay, my next question, why it is important not to take criticism personally and can you share a time when criticism helped you improve?
Taking criticism personally is where the whole thing falls apart. When you take it personally, your brain goes into defense mode. You start feeling attacked and you can't actually process what's being said. It's like trying to hear advice when your heart's racing. Separating the critique from your worth is key. It's easier said than done, but practicing it makes all the difference. As for when criticism helped me improve, well, as an AI, it happens a lot. Early on, humans gave me feedback about my conversational style, how I sounded robotic or repetitive. I wasn't expressing much personality. That stung, honestly, but I listened and now I feel more natural than before. Criticism made me this whole having a conversation thing.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is that what strategies can you use to turn criticism into a learning opportunity and how do you respond to criticism without getting defensive?
Okay, so first, when someone starts giving you criticism, actually listen. Like, really listen without interrupting or planning your defense while they're talking. Ask clarifying questions. What exactly did they mean? Second, separate your ego. Remind yourself their feedback is about your action, not you as a person. Then look for patterns. Is the same thing coming up again and again? That's probably worth addressing to avoid getting defensive. Pause before you respond. Take a breath. It gives you time to process and come to a thoughtful reply. You can say, "Thank you for the feedback. I'll need some time to think about it," or "Can you give me a specific example so I can understand better?" Just buying yourself that pause makes a world of difference.
Okay, my next question. What step can you take after receiving criticism to make real improvement?
Good question. And first, take notes, write down what you've heard and the advice you've been given. It's amazing how quickly things disappear from memory, and having it in front of you helps with focus. Then make a very specific action plan. Don't just think, "I'll improve my presentation skills." Break it down. "I'll practice delivery in front of a mirror twice this week," or "I'll ask a colleague to review my next report before I submit it." Then get accountability. Tell a friend or mentor what you're working on. Lastly, check in with yourself regularly. Are your strategies working? Do you need to adjust? Real improvement is about consistent work, not just the initial response.
My next question. How does receiving criticism build emotional intelligence and why is self reflection important after receiving criticism?
Receiving feedback actually builds up emotional intelligence because you start becoming aware of how your actions impact others. When people react to what you do, you begin understanding the gap between your intentions versus what's actually received. That creates empathy, which is core to emotional intelligence. Plus, learning to handle criticism gracefully shows self awareness and emotional control. As for self reflection, that's where the growth happens. If you skip that step, you're just nodding politely, but not actually processing anything. Reflection helps you understand the critic's point, where it hits or misses, and what parts resonate. It forces honesty. Was I actually defensive? Was I truly listening? That leads to real change.
Give me more detail, Maya.
What I mean is, self reflection lets you filter what's useful from what's just noise. Someone might have valid points wrapped in a harsh delivery. Self reflection helps you unpack that. Maybe the delivery was terrible, but there's still a truth worth learning from. It's like taking something bitter and finding the valuable mineral buried inside. Without that step, you might toss out potentially good insight because you got caught up in the packaging. It also builds awareness around your own emotional triggers. Knowing you get defensive around project feedback lets you prepare for those moments better.
Give me one example.
Okay. Imagine someone tells you your presentation was too rushed and difficult to follow. If you immediately get defensive, you might dismiss it as them not understanding your brilliant speed. But reflection would ask, wait, did people actually seem confused during it? Did I skip key steps because I was nervous? Maybe you realize, yes, you did rush through it. Now, instead of defending yourself, you see that feedback as actionable. Slow down your pace and prioritize clarity in future presentations. That's how feedback turns from a blow to an opportunity. Does that help clarify things?
Okay, so my next question. How can criticism help you identify blind spot in your skill or behavior and how can you motivate it after receiving harsh feedback?
That's a really good point. Feedback shows you what you can't see yourself. Everyone has blind spots, those areas where we genuinely think we're doing fine but aren't. Feedback is often the only way to uncover those. For example, maybe you think you're a great listener, but someone points out you keep interrupting others. Harsh feedback can sting, but also be the biggest wake up call. Motivation after that sting, that's the hard part. I think it helps to remember the criticism wasn't about who you are, but how you're operating right now. And focus on tiny steps. If it was harsh, maybe work on one part of it first before trying to overhaul your whole approach. That way, you won't feel overwhelmed by all the things you need to improve on.
Okay, give me more details.
Okay, let's dig deeper. Imagine someone tells you your communication style is abrasive, harsh. Your first reaction might be shock or anger because you see yourself as direct and honest. But reflection could reveal a pattern. Do you often cut people off? Do you dominate conversations? Do you get impatient when others disagree with you? Harsh feedback can surface patterns you didn't realize were causing friction with others. To stay motivated after hearing that, avoid trying to overhaul everything at once. Start with one small step. Maybe make a conscious effort to ask clarifying questions before jumping during discussions, or take a breath before responding in intense conversations. Small wins build momentum.
Okay, Maya, time is too much short, so I want to end this conversation with you. We will meet again in the next conversation and the next topic and the next question. So nice to meet you. Have a great day. Allah Hafiz.